Russo's brand family. We are family.
I've dealt with strippers and I've dealt with whores.
Oh, Dudes Talk Shit, episode 26, everybody. First of all, let me just say, if the show goes out, it is not my fault because my internet has been fucking up since 8:15.
And the check he wrote for his cable bill might bounce.
No, I don't think so. I've been having trouble with files since I got the shit. And the only reason I got it is because they hooked me up with a sweet ass deal. But now I understand why. So just fair warning. All right. So Dudes Talk Shit, episode 26. And let me just start out by saying I honestly didn't think we would have another one. And I was just about to move on and just, whatever, because I can't do a Dudes Talk Shit. Dudes Talk Shit without either one is just not going to be the same. So if that was the case, it would have just been over. And there were some things that happened with the last show, during the last show and after, that a lot of people don't know. We're not going to go down the whole story, but those who know. And two of the folks on the phone now, let me just get my part out of the way real quick, and then we'll go on. The subject matter we talked about, there was a person's name that got brought up. And I talked to TJ about that. That was my only issue with it, is that the person's name was brought up. The subject itself, I had no problem with. I still had my opinion about it, and that ain't changing. Period. That's just what it is. Now the other issue was that a few weeks after we done the show, and y'all know I think it was the last episode, 24 or 25. I don't know. It's been a while either way. So after the show, there was a period of about 2 weeks, and then the show was mentioned to the young lady who was name was brought up, and I had an issue with Bryan about that because there was a big gap. So let me introduce everybody. Y'all just heard Bryan Lyles, BSL Lyles. And of course, TJ, the Chicago kid, host of Streets is Talking on radio every Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
Plug my shit, nigga.
So I don't want to. Well, first of all, I'm going to let you go first, TJ. Unless you want to go first, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Because they're sort of kind of put me on the spot, but that's okay. I can go first.
Oh, we go if you want.
What was said? I'll go on the record and say I probably went a little too far in name dropping her.
Okay.
Now let's not get it confused. If anybody saw my show, after I ran the clip of us, the episode when she was on, and hearing the playback of what she was saying, I came this close to apologizing. But after hearing that clip again, I'm like, man, I feel stronger about what I'm saying than I did before. I feel just as strong. Now, I've said it numerous times when we was going back and forth. Me and her was going back and forth. I'm not mad at you. You have every right in the world to be upset because you feel like your name is dragged through the mud. And I get it. I'm not mad. She was saying stuff. I didn't like the fact that she tried to lie and say I was trying to hit on her.
Right.
And when I produced the receipts to show that I don't even speak to you. Every time we communicate, you initiate it. I've never said anything remotely flattering to you. So let's not put it out there because you want to look good and say that I was trying to holler. But outside of that, I'm like, I ain't even mad at you, shorty, because, If somebody's saying something about you, you have a right to be mad. It don't change the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then after watching the playback of the video of the initial video of her coming on the show, her saying what she was saying, I mean, she didn't even paint herself, in my opinion, she didn't even paint herself in a favorable light. Especially considering the end result when I saw her, where I saw her.
Okay.
And in the way I saw her. I'm like, you didn't even paint yourself in a favorable light. You came off arrogant. You came off snobbish. You came off like, you know, I've dealt with strippers and I've dealt with whores, and I listened to them talk about dudes, and the type of shit she was saying reminded me of that.
Okay.
And what I said to her on the show, although it wasn't exactly identical to what I said on the episode, sentiments was the same. So it was consistent.
Right.
Okay.
My issue with that was if we was gonna bring her into it, do it right away. Because now when you wait, now I'm asking, what was your reason behind waiting? What was your reason behind allowing that period of time to pass to say something? Was it to ingratiate yourself to her? Did you? I mean, because if somebody say something about my people, like Patty, if somebody say something about Patty, it's going. I mean, if it's somebody like me and you talk about Patty, depending on what's said, I might hold it. Right. And if I hold it, I'm gonna hold it. Period. But if I feel like something she needs to find out, then I'm gonna take it right to her. So my biggest issue, not with what Bryan said, I don't give a fuck because I wasn't worried about my ass getting whooped. It's just the amount of time. So because now it's like, okay, what can I say in front of this cat? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anger.
I mean, is it safe to say anything without worrying about it? Because I was honestly, when I was telling them and I was sending the picture, I was trying to give up what I thought was some game. Like, okay, this is the way you see Shorty. And the way Shorty was carrying it, don't put her on a pedestal because this is what she really doing. So she might do this with you, but this is what she really doing. So don't give her a grade. Don't give her a grade A, and she's a grade B. You know what I'm saying? It's not 95% ground beef. It's like 75% chuck. You know the difference between ground beef and ground chuck? How I want to fill you up and then want to give you the shits. Don't mistake ground chuck for ground beef. That was all I was saying. Okay. I said it in a fucked up way. And again, I mean, I totally understand what she's saying. And I came close to apologizing. But then when you start saying shit like I'm trying to holler at you to try to save face, then you cancel out the need for an apology. I let you get your thing off. I asked you to motherfucking clarify. I just want to put the information out there like, I never tried to holler at you. You young enough to be my daughter. Right. I didn't even see you in that light. So I'm over with it. I'm perfectly honest with you.
Bryan?
She blocked me and she blocked me. So
well, here's the thing. Her show was no longer on the network. What happened was I think a few days after all this went down, she's supposed to have a show. And I think about 30 minutes before the show, she contacted her co-host. Her co-host contacted me. She said she wasn't able to make it. I don't know the exact reason, but she just wasn't able to make it. And I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen because everything went down. She probably felt awkward about coming to the studio. I can date that. Cool. Then I got a phone call earlier this week. I think Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday afternoon from her co-host, who told me that his job schedule has changed and that they're going to have to take a sabbatical with the show. And okay, I take that, but I know what the real reason was. The real reason is because everything went down. She probably wasn't comfortable coming back to the studio And I understand that that's her decision, that's her choice. I ain't upset or nothing, but I know that's the real reason. So as of now, the show's not on the network anymore. But Brian, I just wanted to go ahead and give you your time if it's something anything you want to say. Brian.
Okay. Sorry, a little distracted. I've just been issued a tornado warning, so just to let you know, I'll know what's going on.
Well, if you get off the line, then we'll know why too.
Yeah, I'll be with Toto and Dorothy. Yeah. Cross your fingers. Here's the deal. I didn't speak with her until she ended up calling me. Talked about trying to be a guest host on her show. As I end up talking to her, I brought it up to the fact it's like, hey, you should listen to the show. TJ, saying the things like he always says, and just to get, so that way she can see it. Now, timing wise, okay, I will admit to that. I will accept the responsibilities of that. My thing is, it's like, even if I did say anything, I think everything probably would have gone down. Probably not. I'm not sure. But I felt like it was in the best interest to where I felt like to be known to someone is like, if it like you said before, if we just generalized it, I think it would have been a nice, simple show. No names dropped, no nothing. And probably nothing would have been said. I just felt that, to me, it was disrespectful. I felt to me, it was like she needed to be known about this.
Well, did you feel that way at the time?
Even at the time, well, remember, you were thinking about calling her.
Yeah.
We talked about this, and I felt like it would have been best to sort of like, why don't we bring her in here? So, and all this. So, but I felt that, again, 2 weeks have passed, even if I said it the day after, 2 days after, 2 weeks after, I think we still have this type of drama.
I don't. Now, let me give my opinion on it. I don't think she would have been. Maybe she would have been upset, but I don't think we would have been, or TJ. And yeah, I was quite upset finding that it was a gap. I don't think all of this would have went down the way it was if you told her sooner. Now, granted, she probably would have still been pissed and upset. I get that. But I think we could have been like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you told me.
He's looking out for his people.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been he looking out for his people. But with the gap, it's more like he looking out for him.
Never mind. Continue.
He looking out for himself. Like I say a lot of shit, and I've said it before. One of these days, I say is gonna catch up to me and bite me in the ass. That's one of the drawbacks of having the type of person that being the type of personality that I am. I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna offend people, and one day, to some people, I'm gonna go too far. I live with that over my head all the time. I know that eventually the axe is going to drop, but I'm not worried about that happening because I'm not going to be trying to stress myself over what I say. If I feel like I've done something wrong, like if she came on the show that night, she could have bombed me out. I would have laughed my ass off. I would have completely laughed my ass off because I've been like, all right, well, I mean, I deserve that.
Right. But
once it passes and the time elapses, okay, like I explained to her, you have every right to be mad. In fact, it's not just that you have a right to be mad. You should be mad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should be mad. But you also have to think about why it takes so long for you to find this out.
And well, let me say this. If there's a lot of people say a lot of things and then you hear it after the fact. The timing of everything is always, mind you, it will be always be in question. And, if it's that within 24 hours or 40 years later, So, again, how people react to it, mind you, this is how the reaction we're getting after a 2-week delay after things have transpired. Again, mind you, I don't know if she either. My initial question was, have you seen the show? That's when I mentioned it to her. Have you seen recent Dudes Talk Shit? So she said no. So it's like, okay, check it out. Things were set. That's how the dialogue went for her to go into it. Now, like I said, again, if we generalize the whole show, no names drop, I don't think that we wouldn't be having this type of round.
And I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But and that's where I disagree with TJ. For mentioning the name, that's done. Mm-hmm. But
like I said, I will accept the 2-week delay. I will apologize to anyone who feels wrong through this. But at the same time, I felt that, again, this, mind you, in my position, I felt like, look, there was no person being defended in that situation.
Well, my thing is, nobody was right.
Right.
Let's put it like that. You weren't right for waiting 2 weeks, because if that was somebody you really felt that about and you felt that mad, I wouldn't keep it in for 2 weeks. I'd tell them immediately. Just like if you're in a relationship and your girl piss you off, the longer you hold it in, or somebody's talking about your girlfriend, okay? Not trying to insinuate anything between you or her. But if somebody's talking about your wife or your girlfriend and they saying some stuff you can't stand, and you hear it right then and there, you're going to approach them, and then you're going to let her know right then and there. At the same time, on her end, I'm pretty sure she was mad because the insinuation was that she's a hoe. Right. Is that what we gave her? And it made it worse by mentioning her name. So both sides could have been done better. The fact is, we can't go back into the past and hit a reset button, rewind. Because if we did, I'm pretty sure all three of us would change a whole lot of shit.
I would say what I would change. Because I didn't find out till all this shit kicked off that she was as young as she was. I didn't know she was that young. I mean, maybe that somebody might take offense to that, because I'm looking at her. I'm thinking she older. She probably in her 30s, mid-30s.
Because the way she talks like she been around for a while. Like she knows what talking about.
No. I just simply, once I went and sat back and thought about it and really looked at everything, she did talk about somebody who ain't had that much experience in life, who don't know that much about relationships, who don't know that much about the interactions between men and women, how women see men, how men see women. When I went back and looked at it, I'm like, damn, that shit a kid.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I can't even get mad at her because if she would have been somebody 30 or 40 years old, once I realized that, I would have just dove right in.
Yeah.
But because I went back and I looked, I'm like, man, she's a kid. She's 26 years old. She don't know nothing. Right. So I can't get mad at nothing that comes out of her mouth because she don't know no better. But maybe this will, maybe it won't. Maybe what I said to her, maybe the points that I made to her, that you can't be out here putting that type of energy out like you this chick. Because what happens is when dudes running behind women like that, young girls, and everybody, oh, you so beautiful, oh, you so fine, and you give her the impression that she can do no wrong. Then when she out here doing wrong and somebody points it out, she thinks that somebody is hating. I'm not hating on you. I have a 25-year-old daughter and I have a 29-year-old daughter. And I will tell them, if you putting your ass out here for everybody to see, particularly on the dating site, after you said what you said to a bunch of 40-year-old men, anybody's going to interpret that as you out here, you about that action if the price is right. I mean, that's just, I don't think at her age, she knows that. So maybe what I said, maybe it don't, because sometimes jewels come in the worst package.
And I think if we would have had the discussion on the show like that, when we're talking about is not just her, but any woman who, in our opinion, that's dressed like that, we feel blah, 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 instead of making it seem like we're insinuating that it's you, I think it would have went different. But look, as I said before, I'm done with it. I know you said you're done with it, TJ. I know Brian's done with it. The next time anything or anybody is brought up on this show, let's just bring them on the show right then and there. It's just a link away. Then we just bring them on the show and we'll talk then. I think that's more fun anyway. When we just can go right at it head to head. So that's just, I don't want to spend any more time on this.
I'm just saying, youngin, if you listening, if you watch the show, if you come across this broadcast, the perception, how you see yourself is not how everybody else is gonna see you.
All right.
And the image and the perception you put out there, you think you putting out there, could be perceived differently by someone looking at you. We always think that the outfit we go out in looks decent. It takes somebody outside to point out to us that, Trump, you got bleach stain on your shirt. It might not be something as small as you can't see it. But somebody else has to point it out to you. So just because you think what you're saying sounds good, you sounded like, she said something, and I just want to get back to this. She said something that, it's women out here that's fucking men for free and ain't getting nothing out of it. I'm not gonna be out here fucking men just for free. She don't realize what she's saying makes her sound like a woman in the streets that's in the game. She don't realize she feeling like she's sounding empowered. When in reality, you're making yourself sound like someone.
Well, maybe in her defense, because she's younger, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
maybe what she means is you got to pay me she don't mean you got to pay me to fuck. Maybe she means that before I give this to you, you're going to have to show me, or you're going to have to take me here or do this and do that. But what it sounds like to us, because we old, is that you, in those words, you're saying you can't get this unless you pay. That's what it sounds like.
That's what I'm saying. When I went back and I found out she was 26, I'm like, I get it now. Had I known she was 26, when she was saying that, I'd have been like, oh, you little dumbass little girl. You don't even know what you're saying. I'm out to her.
I want to put a ribbon and a bow on this. Brian, don't send this link to her in 2 weeks.
No.
Send it to her tonight if it's anything, but no. But I'm done with this. I hope y'all are done with it. I hope we can do some more episodes. But on to what we really on to what we really wanted to talk about, and we didn't because all this stuff went down. And I wanted to talk about briefly, because I'm not going to spend a long time on this.
Worst WrestleMania ever.
Worst WrestleMania of all time. WrestleMania was 8 hours long, so we gonna spend 10 minutes talking about it.
It's 7 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed 45 minutes. I'm sorry about that. 7 hours and 25 minutes long. Let me start because mine's gonna be the quickest. All right. First of all, you're in a metropolitan city like New York, and the show is over at 12:30. At 11:55, you had Carmella and R-Truth come out there to dance to wake everybody up.
The 780 stretch.
And it's now my understanding is when they got there, everybody had to take an Uber. Uber was flooded. It started pouring down, raining. People stuck outside. You never have a show. If you want to do that, you can do one or two things: have the show broken down into a Saturday and Sunday show, or have it in different locations, like they did WrestleMania 2, or have the shows on the West Coast every year. Okay, that way you start at 7:00 Eastern time. To the people there is already 4:00, and you can end it at 12 if you want. It'll only be 9:00 on the West Coast. So the people there, the night's just beginning. The only part of WrestleMania I enjoyed was how it started, with Brock and them and everything coming out. That was unexpected. If the show had followed that suit all the way through and been unexpected, fast, quick matches, great show. Other than that, my review is the women do not belong in the main event. Not yet.
Not those women. I take great offense to that.
No. Women are not ready for main event.
WWE bullshit. WWE continues. I mean, they just called it. The writers, the bookers, be they black or white, the fact of the matter is they fucking racist. There's absolute Kofi was a token. Kofi is completely a token. If you look,
explain what a token is to people.
Yeah, explain me for this.
I know what it is, but the people listening on
Kofi is a token. The fact is, WWE felt pressure. The staff, the record label, and the crew felt pressure to give Kofi a title because the fans was pushing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fans was pushing for it, and because people was hopping on their Twitter and hopping on Stephanie's Twitter and hopping on Triple H's Twitter saying, you know, y'all have never had a black champion. You never pushed the black wrestlers to the main event card. That's the only reason. Kofi don't look like a champion. Kofi with his pectoral muscles that have collapsed, he looked like he's a 205.
True.
They have female talent on that roster that they don't push. Why are the Iconics the champions?
I'll tell you why.
Why is Becky having both titles when you have Ember Moon who can wrestle her ass off? You have Asuka, whatever damn name is, the Asian Japanese chick. You have what's the Usos' wife? What's her name?
Naomi.
Naomi. Now she. Yeah.
Naomi can wrestle her ass off. Charlotte can wrestle her ass off. They keep pushing. They keep pushing the same product over and over again. And then you go to the Brock Lesnar fight. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg ending fast. Okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But Seth, why is it that you keep pushing Seth? Why haven't you pushed Bobby Lashley? Why haven't you pushed Shelton Benjamin? Why haven't you pushed what's the one who used to be with the Titus Worldwide? You're not pushing these guys who actually have talent and who have actual mic skills. Okay, you can't push Bobby Lashley, but you got Leo Rush who can do the mic work for him. You're not pushing this talent. You threw us Kofi. Kofi not even believable. He's not believable as a champion.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when Rey Mysterio won the title?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember Jinder Mahal winning the WWE title?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Do you also remember, let's see, who else? All these smaller guys or unbelievable guys winning the WWE title because of the fact that, especially now, that there's a market that the WWE has to fill. So when Jinder Mahal won the WWE title, of course, they were going to the Middle East, especially India, and they wanted to push that. And surprisingly enough, that title run was interesting. I mean, him against Randy Orton was a very interesting feud. Him against AJ Styles was an interesting feud. And I give them that credit. As for what they do with Kofi, I can already see the seeds planting that Kevin Owens is going to turn on him. And like he did with Sami Zayn back in
Ray
NXT.
Charles can see that. And he's Bryan. Andy.
Yeah.
It's predictable. It becomes so predictable.
I know. Now let's get where the real problem is. WWE, like you guys just said it, the main word is predictable. Everything about that WrestleMania was predictable. I was okay with the fact that Seth and Brock Lesnar was the first match and it ended quickly because I did not want to go through another bullshit type of match, and I'm glad that title's off of him. Now, I understand that you may have problems with Seth being the champion, but at least we got a guy who'll be there every day, has an opportunity to expose that title the way it should be exposed, and give us some interesting matches, with the crazy crossover.
I disagree.
I totally disagree with that.
Again,
keep in mind. How long they go? They got 5 wrestlers.
Now, here's again, like I said, that's one aspect. I do have a problem with Seth being one of those main tier guys that we keep seeing near the belt all the time. I agree with that. I never liked when you had back in the Attitude Era. I keep seeing Rock and Triple H getting the title shot, and you can't get Jericho to get his chance to get his title back. I had a problem with the fact that it's like Now the new Jericho is Finn Balor. He never lost the Universal title, but hey, let's give him the Intercontinental to make him happy.
Finn Balor is good in the ring, and this is the thing. This is what I keep telling people. I'm not an inside guy, but I'm inside. And me personally, just like when it comes to any business, your goal is to draw fans who are not fans, who would normally not watch this shit, because that's how you grow. So they are trying to attract casual fans. Casual fans don't give a shit about Seth Rollins. People, the only time you're casual fans, the only time casual fans will tune into a match to see the championship is if it's Brock Lesnar, because people knew he was in the UFC kicking.
Right, he's a name. He's a UFC name. He went where better yet, he went from the WWE to the UFC and he came back. Yeah, he's a name. But then ever since he came back, fans been leaving because they don't see him except whenever. No, it's not good.
That makes him special.
No, it doesn't make him special. It makes him annoying. It makes him boring. His mystique is pretty much not even non-existent, and especially when you have every week. No, when you have matches where you against guys that against like Braun Strowman or Samoa Joe and whatever. Now, mind you, if you feel like he could, that's how you pitch it. He survived all these big challengers and all that stuff. It's like, okay, but you have a crazy match with Triple H for no reason. You beat up Randy Orton for no reason. You beat up John Cena for no reason.
You talking about Brock?
Brock. Okay. And again, and mind you, it's like, and I felt like Braun Strowman, I don't know what their issue is with Braun Strowman.
Who's damaged beyond repair now.
Right, yeah, because it's like Braun Strowman should have won the title 2 years ago.
Braun Strowman is a comedy show now. He's a comedy.
And that's the thing. That's the thing now. Now the WWE, sadly, and this WrestleMania sadly proved it. This is a circus. And their big top show is WrestleMania wherever they have it, and everybody will go to that circus to see all those clowns and see all those clowns. Unfortunately, I'm saying this, and just to be entertained.
You're right. And I will say this. You're right. When I will say this, just like a clown show, like the circus that come to town,
right?
Every show is the same,
right?
Every show.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. Neither one of you all have touched on it, so I'm gonna say it. Hopefully, it'll get.
I haven't got to it yet, but maybe it will.
Somebody's gonna get to somebody's ears. Here's what has become the biggest problem with WWE. You cannot watch it for 6 months and then tune into the show. You know more than likely who the world champ is going to be. You know more than likely who the WWE champ is going to be. You know more than likely who the women's champ is going to be. You know who's going to be main eventing on Raw. You know who's going to be main. It's become so predictable. It's so fucking stale because the same players over and over again. I can stop watching this shit today, and in 6 months, I know that on Raw, Seth Rollins
by Summers. I agree.
Seth Rollins is going to be the champ. Roman Reigns is going to be the champ. On to the USA champion, it might be Finn Balor. It might be Bobby Lashley. It might be Randy Orton. With the tag team champions, it might be the Usos. It might be the New Day. Or some team that they bring up that might win it and then they lose it again. The women's champion, it's going to be Becky Lynch. It's going to be Charlotte. It's going to be, since Ronda Rousey is out, it's going to be, it's the same players.
It's like if you tune in, and you're exactly right. Because if you tune in this week and miss 2 months and you tune back in, you haven't missed nothing.
You haven't missed nothing.
Well, here's the other thing. I think you got it right. When they ever get to their big pay-per-views, Mania and SummerSlam, those are their really two big pay-per-views. You always know that they try to hype it up to that point and pitch up to whoever their premier stars are. Again, where in Vince's eyes feels like, hey, this will attract the people. This will bring in the people that will watch it. I was okay when it was going to be Becky and Ronda. when you threw in Charlotte, that became fuck that shit. Because it's like you say you're okay with Charlotte. I hate Charlotte. I'm tired of Charlotte. They've been using Charlotte because of that last name. And I was just like, look,
she's good.
I don't know.
She can wrestle
She's
her ass.
good.
And she has personality.
I'll give her talent. I'm not knocking her talent, but it's the same thing you guys are saying. It's like, how is it that you are going to keep pushing this chick over? Geez, not 8 title reigns in 5 years, less than 5 years.
And this is what it served absolutely no purpose to take the belt from Asuka, but they completely forgot about her as being the champion. So they had to do something with the other champion in WrestleMania, but they didn't write no storyline for her.
There were no storylines for the entire WrestleMania. It was probably 1 or 2 quote unquote storylines, but for the rest of it, all they did was put people in matches and told them to go, or they just did a quick storyline a week before and told them to go. There was no real storyline. Matter of fact, there are no storylines. And for me, I don't know about y'all, I can give a damn about how they do in the ring. Okay, the ring, that's cool. I like a good match. Cool. If it gets me, gets me. But the in the ring is secondary to me. I want to see how they act. I want to get used to a character, just like when you're watching something on TV or on Fox or a sitcom or something. You get attached to the character first, everything else second. They don't have any characters.
Well, again, this is the Vince show now. What you've been seeing now, and especially in the PG era, if you want to call it that, everything is marketing towards higher ratings because Vince knows the ratings are getting hurt.
Selling T-shirts
and selling T-shirts, and that's
higher ratings.
I'm saying that's what they've been trying to push. They're trying to push for higher ratings, but they know full well. That's what I'm saying. They don't know how. Now this
ratings have been going down for 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. The problem is it's like the energy level of, again, the casual fan is fading away because the lure of
casual fan has faded away. They're gone.
Yeah, because of the likes of they're again, the way they're trying to promote these new talent stars has been force feeding us. And it's just like, okay, as a casual fan, it's like, okay, I had enough with this person. I don't need to see him anymore. I want to see somebody new. And then, as you said before, the character development has been very weak. And then since with this Fox deal to move SmackDown, I know full well it's like you said, predictable. I know down the line, by the time when SmackDown goes to Fox, guess who'll be champion? Roman Reigns. And I was just like, okay.
Of course,
he's just you pretty much made Kofi just keep the belt warm, which is again unfortunate. Well, and then it leads into this. This is where I want to add this in. I understand the fact that like the women tag belt, and you mentioned about the Iconics. I was okay with the fact it's like if the team that loses, if the Boston Hug Connection lost, I would have been okay with the Iconics. But all this rumor mill or whatever's going on with Sasha. And especially thinking, is she leaving? Right now, she's on vacation. I feel it's like, look, if she leaves, I get it. Because I felt personally, it's like, how is it you cannot give this girl more than a month of a title reign?
All right.
Her and Bailey have been trying to say, hey, they're the ones who want
it. Girl, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna give it to 2 white girls that can't.
Understand it. Well, again,
Brian, your review was very long, bro.
Okay. But again, my view is this fact. It's like, look, I just don't understand it. Like you guys said, there are good, talented people out there that need the push. Mind you, the Icons to me, they're entertaining. I don't mind them, but I really, really wish this is like, again, get back to the way they were, get back to talent, get back to character development and proper storylines. But again, I feel like it's not going to happen. That's why I'd rather just tune into NXT and call it a day.
No, they suck.
They know what they're doing.
And no, they don't. And
yeah, they do.
Here's what I'm going to say about NXT, because you're so enamored with the flip and ring and the NXT has several characters, but they haven't had character development since Dusty Rhodes died, because he was the one doing that shit. Ever since he died, trust me, I've been looking. They have some folks come along and been good and all that, but they have people. I'm bigger than some of the wrestlers in there now. I don't want to watch nobody my size in the wrestling ring.
Let me ask you, did you, okay, this is funny, because the last NXT show I saw, they had the, mind you, the newly named Viking Experience, which is a stupid name, and I know where that came from. They come out of the door, William Regal's door, and they tell the Street Profits, say, hey, we're going to face you for the, next week. And I see the height difference. I'm like, what the hell?
Let me just say this, and then I'm done with it, because I used to be a great wrestling fan. I used to talk about wrestling like looking like this, and I'm talking about now. When I'm talking about it, I'm looking like this. That's how I talk. That's my facial expression talking about wrestling. It's like this. It's like when you have a little child and they keep doing the same thing over and over, and you don't know. I just told you not to do that, and you look at them like this. That's how I look at wrestling now. I'm just, it gives me a headache. I can't name the last time I watched 3 hours straight of Raw. It's just I don't know. It's not fun. And I know all three of us like it, but it's just, I don't know.
That's why, I mean, right now, I mean, the best thing to do if you're phasing out, just check the highlights. You don't need to sit there and watch the whole show.
You don't even watch highlights for real. There are no highlights.
So whatever they put on YouTube, let's put it that way. Whatever they put on YouTube, from that point on, and whatever that point, you just
they hurt my head too much to go.
What is hurting WWE is the fact that they're not forced to compete, because they don't have a product that they don't have. It's like when McDonald's first came along. McDonald's came along first, and then for about 10 plus years, everybody was just eating it off their menu. Mm-hmm. Nobody really demanded a change, because this is what we getting. So they just kept doing the same thing over and over again. It wasn't about improving. Then Burger King comes along. Now you have a competitor. Mm-hmm. Now you have to constantly upgrade your menu, change your menu, and then other burger joints come along. Now you have to make your product better in order to be able to compete, because there's no real direct competitor. The only direct competitor is New Japan,
and they're not even here.
And then you have some of their players are coming into WWE. That's
New Japan. If New Japan would get a footprint in the United States, it would force. The only thing Vince would be able to do is to try to buy out their talent or make a better product. That's what ended up happening with the Monday Night Wars, because Vince had ran everybody out of business. He ran everybody out of business. And then WCW ended up picking up steam, and then they start putting on a product. People have to choose. So WCW, because old boy Ted Turner had just lost complete interest and let the Insane run the asylum, and they ran the product in the ground, which allowed Vince to come in and buy the company and buy the talent. But because Vince don't have no competition, it's not forcing him to make the product better. You're just gonna accept what we give you. They need new writers, they need new bookers, they need new blood, they need new ideas. If they continue down this path,
but again, the main person who has the final say is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Well, he has that final say. Until he leaves, it's whatever you're saying is all those people who probably be coming in, they're just training for somebody else.
Money speaks to Vince McMahon. And on the fact of the competition, TJ, I agree with you 100%, because they got lazy. They do a lot of lazy shit, and a lot of the shit they used to do, they don't do anymore. When they have more money now to do it than they did back when they did it. So I don't understand the logic there. But here's the thing. There's a new company coming up called AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to be on TNT. But here's my issue with this. My issue is, are y'all going to be WCW all over again? Because if that's the case, don't even do it. Don't even try. I don't care how much money or the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, his son is running the company. So they have way more money than Vince McMahon. But as we found out with WCW, money don't mean shit. It's what the product you're putting on. That's
but when you get to watch and you have experienced people in that company, they used to be in WWE. Jericho,
that's
Billy Gunn. When you have
Cody Rhodes,
Cody Rhodes, when you have people that have been in WWE and they see from the inside what they're doing wrong, which caused them to leave in the first place, they don't have no choice, but they're gonna either do the same thing that Vince is doing, which they see ain't working, or they're gonna have to do something better and improve.
Exactly.
Where Vince ain't making approval.
Exactly.
They don't have the name recognition first.
Well, I'm like this.
I believe people are going to be interested in them because just like us, who've probably grown up watching this shit. Monday and Tuesday. I don't have desire to watch it anymore.
Me either. I'm not missing anything.
And I've been watching this shit since and I'm an old motherfucker. I've been watching this shit since because I come from AWA territory. I've been watching this shit when we go to the motherfucking Hammond Civic Center when we had to go to the Rosemont Rising to see Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher. Yeah, I go back that motherfucking far. But when you, I don't have no desire to watch it. I like the product has become. I know if I turn this shit off and I don't watch it for 6 months, I can suspend my motherfucking WWE account. I don't have to watch no pay-per-views, and I can come back in 6 months, and I can pretty much know what's gonna go on.
Yeah. And you ain't missed shit except a bunch of 6-man tags, battle royals, and all of that shit. But look,
the newest thing they've done is the women's tag team, and that was so predictable, was overdue, and the only reason they did it is because their female roster is becoming congested.
I have an idea.
So many women now, they got to do something. They can't just have a champion.
I have an idea. And this idea is pretty stupid, but they do stupid shit, so they might do it. I think they should do a Viking Experience female team. Why not have an entire Viking Experience stable? And you know what I'm saying? The Viking Experience.
Last time we talked about it, they need stables. They don't have stables no more. They
broke up Sanity. They've broken up the Ruby Riot's team. They've broken up. I don't know what the ideology of Vince is thinking anymore. I really think that, again, like you guys said, I really think he's the problem. I mean, he needs to leave, but at the same time, again, competition helps. Right. And until that happens, which I doubt it, until AEW really gets going, Vince is going to do Vince shit.
Well, look, what Vince needs to do, I'm telling you what Vince needs to do. The best thing they have done in years, was this past Tuesday.
What was that?
When Roman Reigns super punched him. Vince is the ultimate heel. You love to see Vince get fucked up. They need. I know he old. But if you want to push Roman, which the only reason people are cheering for him now is because of the leukemia, but pretty soon they're going to forget about that. If you want to push any wrestler, all you need to do is look at the blueprint of Vince and Stone Cold. Stone Cold would not have been as big as he was if not for fucking Vince.
But like you said,
lightning can't strike twice.
Right. Yeah,
in this case, people are so sick of Vince.
But Vince it's not just Vince. But it's also the McMahons in general. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Shane coming out there wrestling, doing his coast to coast shit, jumping off of top of buildings. I'm tired of it.
You got to get back to fucking up the McMahons. You got to get back to that.
Let me tell you.
No, I don't need the McMahons. The McMahons are clogging up the system too.
Well, look, I'm done with it. I'm done with the last shit tonight. But wrestling is another thing I'm done with, because the only reason I tune in from time to time is to see if maybe they've changed, and they don't. It's like being in a relationship with somebody and staying with them in hopes that they change, and you stood too long and they never change. That's how I feel with it right now. They ain't changing. They ain't
or you leave. You figure it's like, oh, maybe they change. You come back.
No,
Haven't changed, and you leave again.
No, because and the other thing,
Some
the
people
other
do.
problem, and before we put a bow on this, the other problem is the fans. The fans have changed. The fans have changed. You got a lot of fans who like to judge a wrestler off for how acrobatic he is. That has ruined the business. It's ruined it. You think, oh, he's great. He needs to be called up, but he sucks on the mic. Or he has no.
I don't even care to see AJ no more.
Well, hey, I don't know. I think they've done all they can do with AJ Styles. I don't know what else you can do with AJ Styles unless you completely repackage him into a totally different gimmick. But my whole thing is the time is now to turn Roman Reigns heel. If you're not going to turn Cena heel, you got to turn Roman heel. And since Brock is gone, what better way to turn Roman heel than to have Roman in a match? Roman turns heel. He beats the shit out of. He gets the mic and grabs the mic and starts talking shit to the fans. Then all of a sudden you hear, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman introduces you to his new client, Roman Reigns. That would be some great shit to me. I mean, no, you know what I'm saying? Nobody would expect it. It has to be out the blue, like Heyman's gone.
The reason they not going to do that, the reason they never turned Cena, because Cena was saying, crowd was saying John Cena sucks. The reason why is because the motherfuckers sell T-shirts.
That's true. That's true.
Those T-shirts is a big revenue stream from them.
That's true. I agree with you on that.
Also, the action figures are a big revenue. Nobody really takes into account the product that they sell outside of the arenas, the T-shirts,
right?
The hats, the fucking dolls.
True.
And if you think about it, the heels don't sell really. It's the heroes. Kids want that stuff. They want their favorite wrestler. So because Vince is thinking, he's thinking the bottom line. He's not thinking about the product.
But see, if Vince was to get outside the bubble, and he was to think, you can still turn Roman heel and sell T-shirts if you make him a cool heel. Because that's what people like. If he
again,
if you're creative,
that's the problem. Everyone, you're thinking like again the Attitude Era, where Stone Cold, he was a heel when he came in, and he ended up people starting to like him. Everyone hated The Rock in the beginning, and then when The Rock had his catchphrases, the raised eyebrow, everyone started to like him. Roman Reigns he's this big guy. He's a Samoan. All the ladies love him and stuff like that. What more can you can't turn him heel. Yeah, you really can't. You can try, but again, it depends on who he'll go up against. If you had him going up against Kofi, then I get it. Then that's
if you're creative enough, you can have
the crowd turned against Roman.
Yeah.
You were supposed to turn him heel.
And you could use that as a catalyst to turn him heel by having him shit on the crowd. Be like, y'all booed me for over a year and I was kissing your ass.
Roman sells T-shirts and action figures.
He'll make them sell T-shirts, make them cool. That's all.
But he's one of those guys again that we've been forced fed. He sucks on the mic. He sucks on the mic.
That's why he needs it.
They got to get back to look. I will say this time and time again. The most valuable piece that they got that they are underutilizing is Elias.
Thank you.
Right. Elias is the most because this is why he gets segments to shoot promos because that's what people like. Mm-hmm. Okay, you big. Okay, you got the tattoos. Okay, you do the high, like you say, Trump. You do the high flying stuff off the ring. But if you on the mic suck and you're not connected with people, nobody's gonna really fuck with you.
True.
And they keep going around circles. I don't know what picture Seth has on Triple H and Roman and the connection with the Samoa shit, but it's time to cut that shit loose. There's no reason why the Iconics have a championship, but you got Tamina and you got what's the big girl name?
Nia's injured.
Okay, but I'm still saying even going into that, They should just be running through the women's division, and they should just, as they go, you need stables in wrestling. That's why New Japan was able to run with the Bullet Club for as long as it has. You need a stable. If you don't have a stable, you got Paul Heyman. Who else has a manager? Like seriously, Leo Rush. But that was one of the staples of wrestling. You have a manager, he has a person he represents, or you should never give Seth the mic. You should never give Roman the mic. They should have somebody that's standing there speaking for them like you did in the old days. But I guess you want to, because you don't want to pay somebody that ain't gonna take a bump in the ring. You don't do anything. And they just gotten completely away from what wrestling used to be about.
Here's what I would do. I'm gonna just, and then we can wrap it up. And but this is what I would do. Two things I would do. The night after WrestleMania, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns in the ring. Seth congratulates him. No, Roman congratulates him. Shakes his hand or whatever, and Seth gets up, and all of a sudden from behind, Roman attacks him. Roman kicks him, and he's down and everything. And then after that, Paul Heyman comes out, walks down the aisle the night after Brock lost. So you're thinking maybe him and Brock is gone, or maybe, and introduces Roman as his new client. Now that's Roman's new mouthpiece. Here's another thing I think is funny. A lot of people think it's ridiculous, but I think people tune in just to laugh. Like you said, TJ, Nia Jax, Tamina get the women tag team titles. They beat the shit out of everybody. Okay, I mean, they run through the women's division for a few months. All of a sudden, they're bored. So what do? They challenge the men tag team champions. It's funny, but who the hell wouldn't tune? People tuning in with like, oh, shit.
I mean, think about the pop at what was it? Not Survivor Series. It was at Royal Rumble. When she knocked down R-Truth, and when it got in the ring, and everybody like started fucking her up.
Yeah.
How do you miss them? Now you're supposed to be going through dudes. It don't even look right. Them wrestling female, they supposed to be ambushing dudes. If you were gonna say anybody was the man, it should have been Nia. It should have been Tamina. That's the way you were supposed to play that.
They run through the whole women's division and then challenge.
So now all the female champions, white,
and they're bored of shit. They're like, man,
Kofi as a token.
We beat such and such. We beat such and such for these tag. We beat all the women. We're bored. Let's go ahead, and then all of a sudden you have a tag match on Raw, and the tag team champions, whoever they are at the time, win. And then all of a sudden, them two come out and challenge the men for the tag team title simply because they're bored as shit. And we know eventually they'll lose to the men, but at the same time, that's funny. It's unpredictable. It's entertaining. It's something that would keep me glued just to see what the hell is going to happen. They don't do shit like that anymore. They do like
you didn't even follow up with her. You didn't even follow up with her knocking out R-Truth.
Yeah,
you never followed up. You just do shit and then you leave shit hanging.
Because they're too scared. They're too scared that if they do that, they're gonna get some flack back from the, these politically correct what you call social media justice warriors. Oh, you shouldn't. Oh, a woman hits a man. Oh my God, we're gonna boycott. They're scared of all that shit. So they're like reluctant to do the shit they can do.
There is an issue.
It is
an issue. Mind you, the Royal Rumble was a special case, but the reason why they have the mixed tag challenge or things like that is because of Canada. That's why. That's the main reason why you're not going to see R-Truth against Nia Jax. Mind you, it'll be entertaining, but
book more shows in Canada.
Huh?
Book more shows in Canada then.
No, the thing is, Canadians don't want the Canadian government won't allow that. That's what I'm saying.
Book shows that will allow it to places that will allow it, like here in the United States. Just do it. The men may not even. And look, the men may not even. They may not even really wrestle the men, but to see them challenging them, come on now. Come on.
I mean, mind you, I agree with you. I mean, if you want to bring back that storyline, how even China, was dominating the women division for no reason. She got bored and ended up going to the men. Mind you, that was entertaining. If you want to do that with Nia Jax and or Tamina, that would be entertaining too. But again, whatever hang up that Vince has with the Canadian government and not allowing that shit, that's on
I
him.
ain't even getting all that government shit. All right. This has been Dudes Talk Shit episode 26. The wrestling thing just fried my brain now. So I
have one question to ask you. The NFL, since the NFL schedule came out on Wednesday, where did you get the Bears and Chiefs?
That's just off the top of my head.
The Bears and Chiefs, what about it?
I'm predicting Bears and Chiefs in the Super Bowl this year.
The Bears and the Chiefs?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I'm predicting the Bears and the Chiefs in the Super, and I'm predicting the Bears to win it. Because because the NFL writes their scripts, and I got my hand, luckily, on a copy of the NFL script for this year. And the script is this their 100th year, which is why they're opening up with the Packers and the Bears, because they're the two oldest franchises. The Bears is actually the oldest, and they want to end up 100th year representing the oldest team in NFL. So therefore, the script said Bears and Chiefs at the Super Bowl. So
do me a favor. Mm-hmm. Don't put no money on the Bears getting to the Super Bowl.
I'm not. I mean, it's just a Facebook stat. I'm not putting no money.
Don't you ever bet on the Bears until Virginia McCaskey dies. That's never gonna happen.
Well,
ever.
You might be right about that, but we'll see this year.
It's never gonna happen.
Mark my words. If the Bears or Chiefs come in on this Super Bowl, I want mainstream media attention. Like this man predicted this way back before camp started. How about that? All right, y'all. Dudes Talk Shit episode 26. We out of here. We'll see you on the next time.
Peace out.
I just say it when I get on.